looks like everything didn't break, so that's a good start. Alright, hey, what's going on guys, Phil here. So, today, I didn't have a new idea for like a deck I want to try out really. I've just been kind of trying out some of the popular stuff, so like, over here we got Token Druid, Melee Druid, Oakheart Druid. I did a couple videos on the Zelay Lock and the Quest Lock, and I actually have another one coming out on this because I got some input from Zelay through Twitter and through his stream on how to, potentially merge our two lists a little bit better to make it a little stronger, so that'll be coming out eventually. But today, I just want to try and do some laddering, and the most popular decks on ladder right now are Secret Hunter, Odd Paladin, Even Shaman. Pretty aggressive decks with really big boards that you have to deal with. So I have pulled up a very handy little resource that we have at our disposal, that being HS Replay. And over on HS Replay, let me see if I can pull it up on the stream. It should have already been pulled up, but I guess not. Over at HS Replay, there we go, pulled up 5 decks which are supposed to be particularly good versus hunters. Specifically, I chose decks that are either doing their own win condition faster than the hunter would be, or decks that that have good AoE tools to deal with spellstones and with sticky death rattle boards and stuff like that. So we have a couple different ways that we can go about, tackling the um, issues that we have on ladder right now with hunter being super popular. But I'm just going to start by copying these lists over, and we'll just decide which one we think is independently the strongest and hop into some matches with that. So I'm not 100% positive, but I'm fairly certain that this is Brian Kibler's Elemental Mage list. Essentially, it's good versus hunters because you can put on early pressure with stuff like Giants. You have pretty good late game in Frostless Jano, Blaze Caller, Astromancer, and then you also have one of the best board clears against Spellstone in Arcanosaur. So Hunter tends to try and fight for the board and then swing with Spellstones, and once you get to a pretty one-sided board state for them, you can just Arcanosaur and get all that tempo back. Along with that, you have some really good taunt minions, so 3/5 taunt Divine Shield that will take typically like 2 or 3 cards to get through for a hunter. You have Stonehill, which can give you taunts. That's cool. Tar Creeper. So you just have a lot of stall. Zilliax is really strong, and then you have direct damage as well. So you should be able to clean out a game versus hunter using that deck fairly effectively. The other decks that I want to pull up, I will be pulling up shortly, and I'm going to keep the HS Replay just up there for a sec, because it doesn't really get in the way. You can still see the list popping up. This is a Kingsbane Rogue. Kingsbane Rogue is one of the most popular archetypes right now. With that being said, though, I have very little experience with it, so if we decide to go down that route, it'll be interesting. Kingsbane Rogue is specifically good versus Hunter because in the later game, in the mid game, if you get your weapon buffed up, you can do stuff like Blade Flurry to clear board, and if your weapon, isn't available for Blade Flurry, or you don't have Blade Flurry, you can always vanish and fill their hand up with garbage minions, so that's good too. We have a Odd Paladin, and I specifically looked for Odd Paladins that ran new cards, and so it seems like the only new card in this list is Bloodclaw. But Odd Paladin is able to spam so many tokens on board that essentially a hunter won't be able to keep up, even though they have stuff like Explosive Trap and Removal. You just have so many little tiny dudes that they can't really deal with it in an effective way. Next deck is going to be a Cloning Gallery Priest. Cloning Gallery Priest is good versus hunters, mostly because you have Mass Hysteria. Mass Hysteria in any priest deck is going to be very powerful, especially, dealing with such an even board like a Spellstone. All those minions are 3/3s, so forcing them to attack each other is going to kill every single one, as well as you can go Guild a Gargoyle, get some coin into some Psychic Streams. That's really effective versus Spell Hunter specifically, because it means that you disable the effectiveness of Raktalar and To My Side, and then at any point after like turn 9, you can threaten lethal just with a Cloning Gallery into some burn. So Cloning Gallery Priest is also a deck that I have very little experience with, but seems like it'd be in a very good spot in this meta, so I think it'd be interesting to try. And this is supposed to be Big Spell Mage, is our last one. There we go. And it had a little bit of difficulty, but it popped up. This Big Spell Mage that we found is actually a list which runs Keleseth. I'm not so sure how good Keleseth those versions are. I typically liked the list that cut Keleseth in favor of Voodoo Doll, and we're missing Malakras, which I don't think is that important, but we're running Daring Fire Eater, which makes sense. You know, it's a very strong anti-aggro card, but I think, especially since we're missing the Malakras, I'm actually going to cut this Keleseth and instead run 2 Voodoo Dolls. What's our AoE package looking like? 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, so we have all the AoE. Voodoo Doll is really strong because it's a 1 damage kill anything essentially, so it's 5 mana in combination with your hero power to kill any minion. And as well in the late game, it can summon you water elementals. And if you're playing a Keleseth version of Big Spell Mage, you can't really run Voodoo Doll effectively, because if your Voodoo Doll gets Keleseth buffed, it's a 2-2 and you can't instantly kill it. But I've always been a much bigger fan of running the double Voodoo Doll over the Keleseth. You're really not winning this like games as Big Spell Mage through your minions, so it essentially is just there to buff up your taunts a little bit, but you have so many AoE clears that I think it should be fine. The deck which I think I want to start with is Cloning Gallery Priest, just because I haven't played a lot of it, and so I think that beginning with it and trying to, you know, get that learning experience would be really good. Cloning Gallery Priest has been in the meta for quite a while. It was really popular last expansion, and it only got more tools this expansion with things like Mass Hysteria, so I'm gonna start with this, and we'll see how it does. With the amount of burst that Clone Priest has, you can pretty easily beat out like druids with lots of armor, or like some odd warriors and stuff like that, so I feel pretty good about, you know, this and its matchups. You run double Spirit Lash for stuff like the you know, the odd paladin matchup, which we might be running into. I'm not positive on Mulligan, and I think I still have the HS replay pulled up, so I can look at Mulligan win rates. So I'm going to pull this back up on stream as well, because that way it'll be there for the video, and we can look at these stats really quick while we look at the Mulligan. There we go. So it looks like if we go by capped percentage, we want those cards. We have double Witchwood in hand. We also have a Mass Hysteria. Mass Hysteria is pretty good on that list as well, so I'm going to keep this, even though it's a very, you know, I don't have anything to do in the first couple turns. Purely because Mass Hysteria is a great board clear, and these are really good, especially if it's exactly Odd Paladin, because they will be making, you know, lots and lots of little minions and kind of dumping their hand out. So we can effectively deal with that with big ass taunts. Let's get rid of that captured overlay, and we're back into the game. We picked up a Gargoyle, that's pretty cool. Picking up the Spellstone is kind of not super relevant in this matchup, purely because, like, we're going to be winning off of our minion presence, not resurrecting, I don't think. Coin of Flappy Bird? Coin of Stonehill. This is a very slow opening from an Odd Paladin, which is really good for us. Ooh, Lyra could be good too. So we get this Gilded Gargoyle down early. This should allow us to, you know, contest board a little bit. We can, like, hit in, heal, and eventually get that coin to ramp up into either a board clear, or we can save it for Lyra, or get an early taunt. Unfortunately, our Witchwoods aren't going to be super strong right now, because he's holding a ton of cards. But it looks like he has a very bad hand. Okay, Veteran's pretty good. It gets him a free trade onto here. I think I would take it. He probably could push 2 face damage here fairly easily, but I would probably just take the trade just in case. Shadow Visions. We could be looking for something like a Spirit Lash, a Mass Hysteria, or a Scream. Essentially, we just want to avoid the burn spells and the death. I think this would be a 3/6, which requires his entire board. I kind of like just coining out the Witchwood and seeing what he does. We have Mass Hysteria to follow up if he gets a big board. We probably want to save this for post Spellstone, if we can. Or maybe we just Shadow Vision to look for one of the board clears. We didn't find any of the board clears, so I'm going to go with Servitude, because once our Witchwood Grizzly dies, we can bring back a 3/12. So I'm not quite sure whether that was the correct play, but it doesn't feel too bad. I do like the idea that we're going to be able to go Grizzly into like Mass Hysteria into Eternal Servituding a Grizzly. That feels pretty strong to me, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, so that's a 5/2. That's pretty scary. I think I'm just going to start by putting out a Grizzly. This will, have to take some trades, and then we can set up for a Mass Hysteria post Divine Shields, which seems fairly powerful to me. We are taking a bit of damage. That's a little scary. But I think our hand is in a very good spot as long as he doesn't have more Divine Shield or a way to get through this without popping at least, some of the shields. That's really powerful and bad for us. We're looking for a Psychic Stream off the top, essentially. I don't know why he split this up. I would have definitely just put it on one and only wasted one shield. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. So we're looking for a Scream off the top as our best. Shadow Visions could get us a Spirit Lash, which would not save us. If we Spirit Lash, we heal for 1, 2, 3, and then we take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so we'd be at 12, 14. I don't really like the odds of that. We could make another Taunt, and then hope that this trades in like that and just heal ourselves. 3 more spells. Okay. I kind of like this plan. So we have a 3/12. We heal ourselves up. This will most likely just take these 2 6s and set us up for a good Mass Hysteria. And hopefully with the Mass Hysteria we can start to bring this game back. Really odd way that this played out. This was not how I expected it. I don't think this is how a typical odd paladin matchup goes for this deck, but definitely been weird. So we're taking 6, we're at 5 health. There's a lot of things that kills us. Corridor is not a thing that kills us, though. So our best draw is Spirit Lash. Ziliax, does that help us? Is Mass Hysteria good enough, is the question. We can always go with another 3/12 if we don't think anything is effective. If this gets a Spirit Lash, then going this coin Spirit Lash into Eternal Servitude seems very powerful. The chances of this hitting Spirit Lash are not super good. It's like a 50-50 essentially. But the Mass Hysteria play I don't think wins us the game, so I think we have to go for this. Because Mass Hysteria, this needs to die. I think that this is the better play. No. Oh no, this is where my inexperience with the deck kind of hurts. I think I'm just gonna... fuck. We're just gonna Mass Hysteria and see what happens, and then I'm gonna heal here. Oh, that's really good. That's a very good trade for us. Okay. So that worked out as well as we could hope, essentially. We just need to survive one more turn of like him not having burst. He needs exactly Leroy. He's used double Blessing of Might already, and Vine Cleaver is 1 off. So he needs exactly Leroy to kill us this turn. And if he doesn't kill us this turn, we get to start like really making a push back on board, because we can go Eternal into a Witchwood, into like a coin Ziliax to get some lifesteal, and then this will set up our Spellstone, and then our Ziliax will eventually have died, so we can get another Ziliax from the Spellstone. So as long as he can't kill us this turn with exactly Leroy, or something like, I don't even know what else he could have. I don't think there's anything besides Leroy that kills us this turn. So this looks like a bad position, but we actually are coming back. I think we're going to be able to stabilize at 1 in this game. So we're going to Eternal to get a Grizzly. I'm going to coin out the Ziliax and kill a 1-1, because the 1-1 is more of a threat than the 2-3, because it can get level upped into a 3-3. And now this will almost always die, and then we can Spellstone, get it back, get like a Grizzly and like a Gilded Gargoyle back, and we can probably stabilize. If this is a Sunkeeper Terran from his Stonehill, then I don't think we can win. But it doesn't seem to be, because I'm pretty sure he would have used that like instantly. Alright, so we get the free heal there. We can Shadow Visions for both a Death or a Spirit Lash, both of which are really strong here. So I'm going to start with that and see what happens. Mass Hysteria, Eternal Servitude. Smite's not the play. Do we want Mass Hysteria or Eternal Servitude? I think that I would want... I think I want the board clear. Yeah. Yeah. I want to go with the board clear. This turn we can't play it though, because we have to Spellstone. Cool. So, again, unless he has Terum, I think we're alive. That the corridor goes into there. Then we have a 312, which eats the 6/6, the 2/2, and the Vine Cleaver charge. We then set up for a Mass Hysteria with getting healing with Ziliax. The extra coin can be good with Lyra from the Gargoyle. I think we're going to be able to bring this back. The only thing that I don't have an answer for right now is if he doesn't put damage on the Stormwind, then my Mass Hysteria doesn't kill it. If he also has level up. Fungal. Okay. I don't think that changes the math that much. Oh my fuck, he got Divine Shield. So now we need Shadow Visions, otherwise we lose. Because Mass Hysteria no longer clears anything. Yeah. That's really unlucky. So we are on the... Oh, we could also get Spirit Lash or second Mass Hysteria. So we have 3 draws out of 18. 3 out of 18. Radiant does not do it. This is 2 spells off. I guess we trade this in, Mass Hysteria, play a Witchwood, and hope that it's enough. We want to put damage on this so it has a chance to die to everything else. It also gives us a coin if that matters. Does the coin matter? We could go like trade 5. That pushes us up to 6. No. Okay. So we Mass Hysteria and see what happens. He's left with only a 1/1. And then we play this. Okay. Cool. So that went a lot better than I would have thought. I'll be totally honest, I have no real experience with this deck, so I haven't used Mass Hysteria. I haven't actually played Priest that much during this entire expansion, but Mass Hysteria seems real powerful. That was a lot that we just did. I thought that would go a lot more poorly, but I'm not sure how they order how Mass Hysteria attacks. It might be by play order, or it might be from like left to right. Learning that is probably something that's going to be important, because essentially this was like a Hail Mary. Every time I've played Mass Hysteria, I feel like it's a Hail Mary because I don't really know what I'm doing. Um, Baku's not particularly scary. This is still a taunt minion, but it's not Tarim, because he would have won with Tarim like many, many turns ago. Malagos. So am I under enough pressure to where I feel like I have to Spellstone this turn? I don't think so. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to start with just coin, and then depending on what I get, I can Radiant. Oh yeah. So Radiant, Servitude. That worked out very well. Do I want to Daze Ziliax? No, I like having the Witchwood more, I think. Yeah. We'll do a trade here and get some free heals. And then we have a Psychic Scream just for extra. We could throw this out just for another spell, but I don't think that's worthwhile. Wow. That Eternal Servitude was really big. He has a Taunt minion, a Fire Elemental, and a new card. I can't believe we've gone through 2 Purifier Smalls this match. The Divine Shield seems incredibly strong. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's not that big a deal. So I have 3, 6, 8, plus 10. So that's 18. Gargoyle doesn't do it. I'm just going to start with random spells and get more from Lyra. Oh, hey. A Spellstone to upgrade my other Spellstone? Or do I want to... Which way do I want to do it? I guess I'll just go with this. This is probably fine. Ooh, we get a circle after we do some trades. Nice. So we're going to trade into the 1/1s, because they're much more scary than anything else that he can put out. This does unfortunately heal his Baku, but that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And I'm just going to play out another minion. So we actually were able to stabilize this match, which was kind of crazy. We were able to stabilize without any shadow or any Spirit Lashes as well, which is typically one of your like trump cards in this matchup, because they fill their board with 1/1s, and then the turn before they level up, you can just, clear everything. Handle it. What's his taunt minion? A Furious Etten. I'm surprised that this took so long to come out. I'm pretty sure there was a turn that would have been better for this, than just letting it sit in hand all game. Cloning Gallery doesn't do that much, so I'm just gonna start with Holy Nova. Divine Hymn is cool, I guess. How do I want to get through this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And that gives me extra coins for Lyra as well. So let's see what we can generate. Shadow Form. Interesting. Probably not what we're going with, though. Well, this is always going face because it's not trading. We might want to consider trading this, but I highly doubt it. I'm just going to start with healing. Ooh. I wish we would have saved this attack. We could have top-steed for lethal. Let's just do this again. This gets us a Lich King or a Velen. I'm just going to resurrect again, hit there, Ziliax in, and that's going to be game. So we technically missed lethal, but you can't really expect a top-steed target to come out. That's something to consider though, with learning the deck. There's random fringe situations that come up probably a decent amount like that. So in future I can trade accordingly. So level up and then we win anyway. Yep, well played. Because 3, 3, 3. Mind control, yeah. 3, 3, 3. Yeah, I want to win with Malagos instead of yoinking that. Little BM, but cool. So that went very well. This deck has incredible power to come back on board. I didn't think that there was any way we were going to win that without any of our... We never used a Scream, we never used a Spirit Lash, and we were just able to get there. Turns out Mass Hysteria is really, really good. don't think we want any of this against Druid. None of this is super effective. We are looking for Gilded Gargoyle, Shadow Visions, Lyra, Shatters, Cloning Gallery. I don't think any of this is what we're looking for. Getting Velen in hand is kind of bad, because it means we can't pull it from Cloning Gallery. But this is definitely not, bad. We have a Shadow Visions, which is cool. We have a Scream, which is good to just have in hand as a resource that we're guaranteed. And then Gargoyle is essentially the only early drop in this deck, so getting that is pretty nice. A Death could potentially be useful in case they ramp into something, but I don't really see that coming in handy. I should double check that I'm not muted. I'm not muted. That'd been fun. Explain my thought process the entire first game and then be muted. So I could try in Visions for the Xerix. It's a 1 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm gonna pass on that. It's actually a 3 out of 7, but we can just hold on to that for now. We can always use it in the late game to find bursts as well. Oh wow. We don't have weapon removal, so that's gonna be really scary. There's the Cloning Gallery though, so essentially we are now looking for Holy Smite Mind Blast, because so it's most of the decks that run this are Taunt Druid, and Taunt Druid doesn't typically run Twig of the World Tree, so we're against something a little unconventional. Gonna just zoom there. Is there any reason to put the damage on here? I don't think so. I'm just gonna take the coin though, so that he can't naturalize our guy and make us overdraw. At least now, if he wants to try and make us overdraw, he has to naturalize his own minion. Tyrant, okay. So our Screams are gonna come in handy here. Radiant. Radiant doesn't do a whole lot for us. We have to play something this turn, so I might just play it anyway. We could Radiant to try to find some burn to go with our Cloning Gallery that we're going to play out. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what we get off here. Mind Blast is the easy choice, and then just heal. So we're essentially just looking for burst to go with our Cloning Gallery turn. Having this Velen in hand is really unfortunate. It means our burst is severely hampered. I'm thinking of just coin psychicking this. Oh wow, yeah. So this is really bad for us that we drew both Velen and Malygos, because it means our Cloning Gallery does nothing for burst damage anymore. So this is going to be an interesting match. Essentially, we have to get one of these killed so that we can Eternal Servitude. But both are just like pretty major threats by themselves, so it's not going to be too difficult, I don't think. I'm just going to start by just playing this guy out, honestly. It calls for an answer. If he naturalizes, we only mill 1. We could have considered dropping the coin due to that, but I kind of like saving it in case we want to go Malygos coin Spirit Lash. Okay, so that's fine. Innervate means that he's most likely Hakar Druid, or Togwaggle Druid. You know, both. There's 2 different variants of it. He's going off this turn. This is very aggressive. I'm not quite sure why he decided to go off this turn with the Twig. That seems really, really odd and really, really bad. So I'm now scared that I'm gonna die a little. I'm going to death this for sure, unless I want to scream, but I don't think I want to scream. So I think I'm going to go death Grizzly. I think I can probably afford to take 4. It could be Malagos, but he used a swipe without the Malagos, so I doubt it. This play wasn't particularly strong, but I don't think it's too bad. Branching for draw. I'm 90% sure that he is the Hakar Druid. He has played this out very odd, though. Okay, so this gets me a Radiant, a Gargoyle, a Lyra, a Grizzly, and a Ziliax. With that, I have Lyra Radiant, so I could coin and do some weird shit. Is that even worthwhile? I highly doubt it. I'm just going to play Lich King this turn, set up for Malagos into Spirit Lash next turn, and then I have one Eternal, which is going to be used on the Velen to try and get through with Mind Blast Bursts, I think. I think that's the play. So let's see what comes of this. Death Grip could be really strong. He spent his Branching Path drawing 2 cards, so whatever combo he's looking for might still be in the deck. So I think we want to prioritize getting this out if we can. Especially because he's putting all these resources into that Lich King, we don't really have to go with the Malagos Spirit Lash plan, because he has nothing on board that's super scary. So I definitely want to get this out and see what we can steal. Ah, it is Hakar Druid. So we are just never going to play Hakar. And he has to win through burning us with naturalizes and fatiguing us. So the way we can play around that is by putting a bunch of little shit in his deck. So keeping these up is good because we can Psychic Stream him in. We're at 9 cards. So this will eventually get Psychic Streamed. So we want these to survive. There should be no way for him to like kill them off with this Gargoyle in play. So I'm just going to trade this for a coin and heal. So I would have preferred to get his Togwaggle, but getting a Hakar is good too, because that's part of his main win condition. Him using naturalizes now is a misplay. He should be waiting until he Togwaggles to then instantly burn me. Him doing this is good for us. Oh, he's doing it this way, okay. So he now has my deck, but my deck is not particularly good, and I have the double Mind Blast already, and I have the double Eternal. So I actually have maximum burst that I can get. I'm going to go with this play. This heals me. If he doesn't kill this, we win next turn. If he does kill this, then the game becomes a little bit more interesting. Because I can go Eternal, Eternal, and then 1 Mind Blast. Swipe, hit. Okay. So I can see what minions I have left. I don't think I'm really going to have any with this Zerix. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to have, like, any. But I think it's just the play. I could go Spellstone, or Eternal into something, Eternal into something. Let's see, Velen doubles, so that's 1 double, so that's 10, that makes this 20. We have no way to get a Radiant Elemental is the problem. So we have to do it spread out between 2 turns. He used 1 Naturalize though, so maybe we just go off with it this turn. It puts 2 7/7s on board. We could also go for Infinite Lich King as a potential play too. Lich King cards could win us the match. What ones are good? Essentially we're looking for like Death Grip. I think we're just going to go with this line of play, though. Okay. So this is scary. We deal 20 here, and then he has to deal with both of these, otherwise he dies to the second Mind Blast. We also, if he plays a scary minion, this now does a ton of damage. This could be a second Naturalize. Oh, it's a UI. Okay. Interesting. So this is only going to do 10 now. But this is still alive, which is good for us. Um, I kind of want to see if we have any minions left in deck. I highly doubt we do, but this turn is just going to be Xerix, Spellstone onto this. Do we want to get the 10 damage in while we can in case he removes our Malagos? That could be a potential play as well. If we do that, then we go with like 2, 3, 4 as our play. Do we even play this? Because if we have a minion, we want it to come from Xerix as well. I kind of want to get this 10 damage in just because it's never going to do any more. So yeah, we'll go with this line. We'll kill this off, and then maybe this guy just lives. I'm going to hold off on this in case we have a minion. This will always give us the armor no matter what, so if we have a minion, we want it to get pulled from the cloning gallery. And essentially, we're just hoping he doesn't have the second naturalize. If he has our Anduin, that's bad too, but Anduin doesn't kill our Malagos yet. The problem is he has our deck, so we have no more burst, we just have what's in here. And his deck doesn't seem to be particularly useful for us. We might just have to hard play this Hakar that we stole to try and get face damage in, and then maybe like get lucky with the Corrupted Bloods. The problem is if we do that, we have to get the Malagos off of our board before we do that, because the Bloods get enhanced by Malagos, so they would deal like 8 damage each instead of 3. Yikes. It looks like he definitely has a bad hand of our cards, though. So he most likely doesn't have the Lyra yet or the Anduin yet, because I would probably be playing either of those. Essentially, the scariest card is Lyra. Anduin is pretty scary too, but is he gone? Oh, okay. I mean, getting a free turn would definitely help. Good job. Alright, so we have our own Ziliax now. Oh, wait. Oh, it's just showing because it was from our deck. So we can actually Dream Petal this Hakar. That's kind of crazy. That's pretty good. I'm going to take that. We'll just hit here and heal here. So this now becomes more playable because we don't have to waste an entire turn on it. The problem is we don't really have a way to, like, effectively use it. It's just going to be a really big minion. He is going to most likely prioritize killing our Malagos, though, which is really good for us, because if he prioritizes killing Malagos, then the Bloods won't be dealing 8 to us, they'll just be doing the 3. He's probably going off of the Lyra turn, then. Or not. Okay. So he has a... Oh, he's getting Spellstones charged up is what he's doing here. So this is most likely a Spellstone. Yeah. What do you get? Nothing too important. And then another Holy Smite, maybe? Okay. Spreading Plague. Spreading Plague's pretty good. We can go Spreading Hakar this turn, but we need this to be dead before we Hakar. So I'm just going to go... I think I'm just going to Spreading and not worry about it. Do we want to save Spreading? It might be better to save Spreading for a wider board. God, okay. So... the problem is he's going to have my Anduin and also, like, 2 more Spellstones now. I think we just need to play this as soon as we can. So I like... If he has an answer to this, and we start drawing those, we're essentially dead. Because the Blood deals 3 typically, but we have Malagos out, so we'll deal 8. But I think we just have to try and get this to start hitting face. Otherwise, there's no way we win. The best card for him right now would be Mass Hysteria? Anduin would be pretty good as well. It doesn't look like he has the Anduin, though, because I probably would have snapped the Anduin after that attack to kill the Hakar. Oh, Spirit Lash. I forgot that was still in there. Yeah, he has 2 of those too. Alright, let's see what happens. So Malagos is dead. And this guy is still alive. So he needs something to deal with this, otherwise he takes 9. Okay, he had the smite. Alright, so now it's a fatigue battle with double Hakar. So it mostly comes down to draw RNG on who draws bloods faster. The naturalize is so good for us, that'll help us with getting him to Hakars. So I'm just gonna do this and see if we have any minions. I have no minions left. Alright. That wasn't what I was hoping for with that turn. But if he ever plays a minion, we can just... Oh, he's going aggressive too. So once he starts drawing bloods, we can just not the blood. Nice. Branching is so good actually because we get extra armor to try and outlive the bloods. Nice. So we're just going to take this turn to get a bunch of armor, and we're hoping he draws a blood, because the second he draws his first blood, we can go off and make him draw more, and just naturalize him out. This is a great card. He just needs to not be able to put on pressure, but his only pressure tools really are, like, Anduin and maybe a Spellstone if he still has, like, if he's drawn it. Yeah, so there's the Spellstone. That's really bad for us. I think we have to get rid of the Ziliax. Ooh. I don't want him healing, but we can also put, like, depending on what's in the deck, it's 1 blood and 1 random card. This is 8, 12, 15, 16 damage. So we'd be at 27. We don't want to shuffle because we need him to start hitting bloods. I'm going to pass for 1 turn and hope that he hits his blood this turn. Damn. That's unlucky. So we take a ton of damage. Okay, that's whatever. So we have 2 bloods in our deck now, and that our deck is only bloods now. So we're taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 damage. So 29, but we can do this. And then we kill this. That'll draw him his first blood, and also a fatigue damage. So then he only draws bloods from now on. Do we want to... Let's see. So I'm taking 6, 9, 10, 14, 17. 17 plus 6 is 23, 24. So I'm at 2 health. He's going to be taking 6... Yeah, so we have to scream this turn and just hope that he hits a blood somehow. It's our best chance. Damn, that's gonna be game. Yeah. That was really close. Basically, in any of those, like, 3 or 4 turns where we were passing back and forth, if he had drawn a blood, then we would have been able to burn him out because we had the naturalize. But he got... You know, he got fortunate and didn't draw the bloods. That was a really close game. I think the only thing we could have done was potentially play around getting milled, because he was able to mill our Togwaggle ransom, but that's alright. New match, new match. So, against Priest, it could be APM Priest, or it could be this Priest, or it could be... It's probably APM Priest. I think we just need to hard mulligan for, like, basically ways to get our cloning gallery out. Nice, we have cloning gallery in the opening hand, and we have a gargoyle to get us, you know, ramped up to it. So this is really strong. The Scream does not really matter, because if he's APM Priest, like, we can shuffle his little crappy minions that he resummons, I guess. I'm not sure how the APM Priest matchup goes for this deck, but it should be interesting. He mulliganed all of his cards, which leads me to believe he's a combo deck. Getting Holy Smite's really good, because that's part of our burst. Essentially, all we're looking for right now is Shadow Visions for burst, drawing the burst itself, and yeah, that's essentially it. It might be a mirror, which is kind of fun. I'm gonna take this, like, just take the free damage. I don't need the coin right now. So in the mirror, we're looking very heavily favored, because we're going first, so we get to go off with Cloning Gallery earlier. I think. No, because he can double coin, we can only single coin. But essentially we have 2 of the burst spells already and the Cloning Gallery, so he has to have both a lot of burst in hand and the Cloning Gallery as well. Oh, drawing this is really bad. That means that we can't just win on turn 9 anymore. Oh, that's so unlucky. Oh. Oh, he's big. What the fuck? I don't know what he is anymore. This is a really interesting version of this deck. But, we're just gonna pass, and then next turn, Psychic, and whatever happens, he can, like, have. I hope this hits his Cloning Gallery, because then we can just Psychic all of his shit back into his hand. Or into his deck. He could also cast a Psychic Stream if he runs that, which could be funny. He's at 9 cards, not 10. Okay. So let's see what this guy pulls out. This was not a card I was expecting to run into today. It is the Cloning Gallery. Oh my god, so we get to Psychic Stream the Cloning Gallery into his deck. Oh, well, I guess we can just Spirit Lash, but we don't want him to be able to resurrect, so here you go. Wow. uh, so he has Malagos in his hand, I think. Oh, well, it can't cast Cloning Gallery anymore, so this isn't too scary. Mass Hysteria doesn't do anything. Why is this in your list? Bro. It doesn't do anything. Okay, so if I go coin, Cloning Gallery, somebody won 1 copy of each, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minions. So I get a Velen and 2 Radiance. Velen will double the damage, so that means that this deals 10, and then this deals 4 and 4. So that's not enough for lethal. I'm going to try and get this to stick, because if this sticks, then we have a pretty high percentage of winning next turn. He needs, like, Psychic Stream to put this back in the deck, but if he puts it back in the deck, then we also potentially win with Xerix, so. So let's draw a Witchwood Grizzly this turn, or a Lich King, or a Gilded Gargoyle. Any minion that's not Radiant Velen. Oh, Mind Blast works too. So I think we just win. So that's 20. Yeah, we should win as long as we get Velen. We did. Cool. So that was a really easy game. I'm not quite sure why he's running Grand Archivist in this, like, big priest list. It seems like it can backfire fairly easily, and also, like, if he's running Psychic Stream, then it means he can shuffle it in all of his cards into my deck. And if he's not running Psychic Stream, well, that's bad already, because it means he's not running Psychic Stream. So that was definitely not the best constructed deck I have ever seen, but that's alright. So we found Glowing Gallery, and none of this we want. We just want like Gilded Gargoyles and stuff. So this hand's not great. Oh, we're against Odd Hunter? Okay. That's a little scary. I think we probably just lose to that. That's kind of an issue. We might be able to get there with Gargoyle and Grizzly. And, you know, we can heal every turn, essentially, so... maybe we'll be okay? I'll just play this Radiant out as a minion. Spirit Lash is really good, too, because lots of his minions will most likely be 1 health, like Wolf Riders and Glacial Shards and stuff like that, so... that's the best one for us that he could have rolled, honestly. So, I'm not too upset about that. This Eternal Servitude on the Grizzly is going to be pretty big for us as well. So we're pulling this together. We're pulling this game back from, like, what seemed like a really easy loss. The Spirit Lash is going to be big, too. Leper Gnome in 2018. So yeah, I'll just coin out this Grizzly. Oh my god, this is crazy. I don't even see a reason to trade this, to be honest. We can't kill the beast to play around kill command anyway, so I'm just going to hit face for the 2. The chip damage might matter. We want it alive because it'll get hit with the Spirit Lash. Oh, Owl? Hunter's Mark. Oh, on there. The arrow is targeting this for some reason. So this now dies to Spirit Lash. So just, come on, chunk. Yes, more 1 health minions. Yes. Oh, he traded. That's unlucky. Unfortunate for us. But I think we just go Spirit Lash. Ooh. So this plays around Chargers, but this gives us 1 more immediate health. And also gets us the potential coin for Xerix. So I like getting this first. And then next turn we can get a Witchwood Grizzly out of the Eternal Servitude. We're getting pretty close to this game. Our best draw is like Ziliax or another Spirit Lash. Some burn wouldn't be bad. Oh, he used that without the beast caveat too. Okay, burn's good. So we want a Grizzly, and we want to heal our face. That's very suspect that he threw that out as deal 3 instead of saving it for deal 5. Blackwalled Pixie, oh my god. Okay. Okay. So we can go for the victory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minions. We have 6 slots. I think we have to go for it. So we just have to hit the 2 spell damage minions. We didn't hit a Radiant. Oh no. This gets us double heal at least. Oh, I forgot that we needed double Radiant as well. Okay. So he has this turn to kill us. Beast kill command does it. Candle Shot does not do it. Dire Mold does not do it. Oh, wow. Okay. So maybe this was a bad play, but, because we could have saved, like, 1 more turn, but we win because he didn't have an answer. I forgot that we only had 1 Radiant Elemental because we had played the other one earlier on turn 2. For some reason I thought we had 2 in there, so we were going to have enough mana to discount both Mind Blasts, but we only discounted them by 1 instead of 2. This deck seems really powerful, though. I'm surprised that APM Priest at HGT Philadelphia was more common than this. I actually plan on doing a video of like analyzing all the decks from HCT Philadelphia, going through like what was most common, what was least common, and kind of like what the field looked like, because that's currently happening. I think it's this entire weekend, so I have this weekend to make that while it's still fairly relevant. Okay, so I'm liking both of these. I'm okay with keeping Ziliax, honestly, and Shadow Visions is not the worst. This is a conservative keep, I would say, but I'm not too upset about it. These Shadow Visions can go towards a Spirit Lash, a Mass Hysteria, a Scream, or a Xerix, and we have basically all the early game minions, aside from a Grizzly, so I'm not too upset. Odd Paladin? No, okay. Hmm. So, it's most likely Death Knight Paladin or Holy Wrath OTK Paladin, but both of those are very, very slow, so I think we're favored. They essentially have to, like, think 3 steps ahead of us to try and time out on the turn that we want to do things. I can go for Smite for burst, or I can go with Servitude to get something. I think we just go with Smite. I'm not sure if Shadow Visioning on 2 in this scenario was correct, but it didn't feel bad. The heal we're missing doesn't do that much, and we already have a Scream that we're setting up for, so. You think you're gonna take me? So, the problem with this is that he can potentially heal up to, like, you know, 1,000,000, to a maximum of 59, but I think our full burst does like a shit ton of damage, so it should be more than 59. What's also funny is if we scream this in, he restores health, he can convert that into more armor. That's an interaction that probably hasn't come up much, if at all. But we're looking to probably just end up Ziliaxing that down. So this will die, give us a coin, go to 9, and then we natural draw to 10, so this is fine. That going face. So he's playing this really aggressive. He must think that we have a lot of the combo since we have double gargoyle. Double Gilgoyle. So that doesn't do that much. He could be setting up for the 4/4 that turns into a 7/7. He only needs to heal like 1 or 2 more for that. He's healed 8, so he needs 2 more. Mass Hysteria doesn't do a whole lot. I'm just gonna go like this and Ziliax into here. Get a little healing. This still gives us 9 and then natural draw to 10, so we're not overdrawing. Ooh, Concentrate's pretty good though. Damn, are we just gonna die to this 3/4? We're losing to a spider tank. Okay, Anduin's pretty good. I might just want to coin Scream. Because I'm a little bit scared of dying, to be honest. And we have double Mass Hysteria. I'm so fucking stupid. Okay, well, we're just gonna get to Ziliax then. That was really poorly done. Yeah, so I'm just gonna hit this. And then I can coin Holy Smite. I misplayed this turn awfully. I just autopilot healed for no reason. Yeah, I'm gonna have to coin Smite this, I think. Having the extra burst would be good, but this leaves this up to potentially get more healing, and the Anduin hero power can make up for the burst that we're gonna miss out on, hopefully. We played that turn abysmally, though. Call to arms. Okay. So we'll most likely just be psychicking these back in so he doesn't get the draw. And he has to draw them and then play them naturally again. Because this is the Shrivala OTK. Awesome, we get another 1/1 in there too. He does get a Ziliax, which is slightly annoying, but it's definitely worthwhile to make him redraw all these and fill his deck with garbage. There you go. That felt pretty good. It means he wasted a call to arms. He still has to natural draw all those, which will slow down his combo by like 4 or 5 turns. Potentially 4 or 5 turns. So I can Anduin, but then I lose out on the healing every turn, which might be important. Do I want to do this? Not really. Damn, my hand is like really not very strong. I think I am just gonna set this up, but then we have no like ways to restore healing anymore. Maybe I Shadow Visions and look for the cloning gallery for next turn. I could see that as a play. Let's go with that. We did not find the cloning gallery, so I'm going to take the extra burst, and I'm just gonna pass with a heal. This is a very weird game. I feel like I'm misplaying, but I can't tell how. Because I don't have, I have 4 total games experience with the deck. I feel like I should be doing something, but I'm not. Oh my god. So he's just gonna beat us down with weapons and we're gonna lose. He's at so much health too. Shit, dude. I guess I can just do this. It's not good. It's like really bad. Hope to get a Ziliax. Cool. Boom. that was less than stellar. He had Consecrate for both times that we had this board. So we really need that cloning gallery. That'd be nice to get. We can scream that in if we want. Oh yeah, so we're gonna scream that in now. Probably. Servitude can get us a Ziliax. Oh no, this feels so bad. So, there's no way for him to get 3 in 1 turn, so we're actually going to keep that alive. What we're going to do is Eternal Servitude for a Ziliax. Restore some health. Play this. We're not going to need the Radiant, so I'm just going to play it out, because it's a threat, quote-unquote, that he might deal with, and also if he doesn't kill it, then we can Psychic it into his deck. The problem with Psychicing Horseman is it makes his combo potentially better later, so maybe we'll be Mass Hysteria-ing instead. Or like trading one and then. Oof. And we don't get the healing off that either. Come on, trade this for no reason. Trade, 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 trade. Yes! Okay. So, we found the Xerix, but we have no burst yet. Mass Hysteria is looking real good. Psychic is also looking very good. I think it's better to Psychic, even though we give him 2 of these, because the chances that he draws those is very low, and then next turn we can go like Anduin, get the hero power, start chipping away, and then whenever we draw burst, we can go with the Xerix cloning gallery. So I'm going to shuffle this, even though it looks bad because we're giving him 2 horsemen. And next turn we will Anduin. So we're taking a really weird line of play, but I think it's our best chance. That's funny. Alright. So we set this up. And this is one of the ones that he didn't have in his deck, so I'm going to kill it just in case. I don't want him to get, like... He obviously doesn't have bounce in hand, but he could top deck a bounce and put it in his hand, and he has 3 in hand. Because that would be the best way for him to snowball this into a win. And now we're just going to be poking him down. Eventually we can Xerix when we get like a Mind Blast or a Holy Smite and do some damage. Because this is guaranteed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions. 6, we have a Witch of Grizzly still too. So, did he top deck the bump for this? I'm surprised he did that hit, honestly. Unless he has another weapon. He could have a Valinir, but I've never seen Valinir in these lists, so I'm not really sure why he did that attack. Holy Smite's perfect. Really, really good for us. So, we can go... Void... We can go Gallery, get a lot. I think that we have to go off, just because if we draw one of these, we're kind of fucked. So I think we have to go off and get Lyra generated spells. And then he's used double Consecrate and a Wild Pyro, so we would need to have Wild Pyro and Equality, or Wild Pyro and a spell. But no, that can't be right. We're gonna do this instead. I'm just gonna hit here. The 1/1 only matters in inequality. So if we top deck Velen or Malagos, this feels really bad, but that's only a 2 out of 13 chance. I don't think we can play around that. This one he already has, so it doesn't matter. Because he has White Mane and Nazgrim, and this is White Mane, yeah.
The frozen throne calls.
Okay. This, now we can go off, because now we have this in case, as like a fail-safe. So yeah, we go off this turn now. So we go Cloning Gallery, get all the minions. These deal 14 apiece, and this deals 4. And we also get Lyra spells now. Coin. Divine him is not super useful. I'm just gonna waste the silence to Lyra generate. Divine him is not super useful. Deal 14. Well, coin first. Seance. Oh my god, okay. So we want to get one of these guys. For sure. And then divine him. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, so we can save these guys for now, actually. Because he has to answer this. I didn't consider that. No. That's okay. Is there any... Oh, this matters a lot. I didn't realize we were overdrawing. Oh no. So he has to deal with this. First things first. Let's see if he can deal with that. Okay. He's able to deal with that. So he was holding Pyro Equality the entire time. That's pretty funny. So hopefully we don't burn. That's funny. This needs one more spell. Okay, so we didn't burn. So I can go... This is Nazgrim, which means it doesn't matter. We want this to be at cast all. So what we're going to do is kill this, play a spell, get us a Velen, and just pretend nothing happened. Do I want to just waste this for any reason? It could potentially get us another ping, so I will save it. Now he needs an answer to the 7/7, but he's out of equality. No, he has 1 equality left, but he's out of activators for that. Okay, Shrivala works. Does he have the Baleful? He doesn't have the Elic. Oh, does he not even have the Baleful? If he doesn't have the Baleful, that's great for us. Oh, wow. Okay. So I can go ping. I could potentially use this. So I'm going to use the Mass Hysteria instead. Because we're not developing behind this at all. So we Mass Hysteria. Those will kill each other. And we ping that down. There we go. So his only win condition now is the Horseman, because he's now used his Shirvala, and he might not have, like, he might have never even had the Augmented Relic Baleful Banker. We can do this once we draw some Mind Blast to have potential lethal. We can also just always play this Velen as a threat. So, like, if he does nothing, we can ping Velen this turn and feel pretty good about it. We can always ping Lich King as well. Lich King could give us more burn. You don't matter at all. Okay. That matters a little bit. So, we found the Mind Blast, that's good. There's going to be another Mass Hysteria turn. 3. 3. And then we ping that guy down. Nice. Okay. So, we're looking pretty good. This deck is real weird. Our res pool is, like, really fucked up, so this res could be bad. Okay, so I'm gonna go for it. Ooh, no, I'm not. I'm gonna wait one turn to go for it, because I can develop this Radiant. Actually, I can develop a second Velen. That's smarter. So we set this up. Next turn we can go 2, 6, and then see what happens and be able to burst them down, potentially. It all depends on what this brings back, but especially if this Velen sticks, that's a lot of damage. And we still have a Velen and a Malygos in the deck. Spike Rootstein? Dalnos. Okay. Ooh, so he's saving himself a turn. That's fine. So I want to steal this to deny him the card draw. And then kill that. And what we milled doesn't really matter. I think having the Radiant is more important. Oh, I can just waste this. There you go. Okay. So I thought I was going to have to mill a card, which would have been bad if we milled a Holy Smite or a Mind Blast. But I had that Divine Hymn that was pretty much useless, so. Denying him that card draw is also potentially really big. Ciliax. Okay. Death. So we just go off. And we hope that it's enough, because he only has one equality and nothing to combo with it. So we got double Velen, which means this does 20. I don't think that's lethal, but it's a lot of damage, so we're going to do it. Do I want to hold this, maybe? No, that's stupid. Okay, 20. Trade. 16, not lethal. Waste some cards just to get some cards. Cool. So he has to answer this board, otherwise we win. And I don't think he has a way to answer it because he's out of Wild Pyro, out of Consecrates. He could have... I don't think there's anything. Wow. He could have timeout for a turn. Nope. Nope. Alright, so I think we got there. Is that timeout? His first bounce. So that was a really weird game. I think we played that pretty well, though. I don't remember exactly the situation, but there was a turn where we could have gone off, but we waited like 2 extra turns, which could have cost us in case we drew the minions that were important, but it set us up for much better turns, so I think that was correct. And being able to survive all like that deck never goes aggressive essentially, and that game kind of showed why. He went really aggressive. He got us really low, um, which I don't think should have been his win condition. He wasted a lot of resources, like just hitting us in the face, and it didn't quite get there. He didn't have a way to like finish that off, which is why I don't think that was correct. Keeping Celiax might have been right, but I like this. I like this a lot more. Not a bad hand at all. It's not Odd Rogue, so it's probably Kingsbane. I don't think Kingsbane runs that, so maybe I'm just stupid. Don't know what I'm against. I'm gonna keep the Radiant. The Radiant's a pretty big resource in this deck, so you can just Gargoyle next turn and it'll clean up the 1/2. Unless he goes like super aggro for some reason and like backstab Edwin's. I don't even think most decks run Edwin anymore though. Yeah, Hench Clan was very expected. We do have the Psychic that will eventually hit it. We could potentially draw into like Mass Hysterias. Shadow Visions is great. We're gonna look for a Death. Do I want a Death or a Mass Hysteria? We already have the Scream, so I don't think I need the Mass Hysteria, so I'm gonna take the Death. Because the Death is independently good at killing this. If for some reason he didn't develop this turn, and we took Mass Hysteria, we wouldn't be able to kill it. That's fine. So we can just Death heal. Spellstone, so we're charging that up as well with that Death. Kinda nice. SI7? Yep. So this is all fine. Not putting on too much pressure. I think we can just wait, because, yeah, this needs 3 more, and Coin's Scream is only 2. So we can wait a turn, take the damage, and then just Scream naturally, and save the coin for another turn. He also might develop into this. I'd be kind of surprised if he developed into it, but he might not play around the Scream for some reason. So yeah, I'm just looking at Screaming this turn. It's not big, or it's not good, like really, but we just kind of die if we don't. Oh, not what I expected to play it to see. Wow, we're dead. All right, so that's a really old. That's like I guess a new kind of Miracle Rogue. We just got beat up by minions though, because we didn't really have any board clears. Interesting game. I'm gonna actually wait a sec just because I don't want to queue into that guy. We'll buy a pack in the meantime, because I really don't want to queue into whatever that deck was again. Epish. Cool. That art's pretty funny when it's golden. I've never actually looked at the art of that card because it was really bad. But that guy's face is to die for. Alright, so I'd say we're doing pretty well considering we had never played this deck prior to this. Mage. Mage is most likely an on-mage variant. The more aggressive version is a lot more common right now with Cinderstorm's Arcane Missile Malagos. so that's something to bear in mind. And this hand is not particularly good, but we do have a Gargoyle, and essentially that's all you can ask for in the early game with this deck. Yeah, Odd Mage. To be expected. Visions is good. I think overall this matchup is probably bad for us, but we'll see. I do not think Dire Mole is common, so this is probably a very aggressive version of this list. We're gonna want... Do I want a Spirit Lash or a Scream? I like going with the Scream because we're gonna have the Gargoyle to set us up with an extra coin to try and get there a little bit faster. Okay, Black Cat. Not particularly important. He is out of a coin because he coined last turn, so that's good for us. Not gonna mess with that. It looks fine. And it's running well. Hearthstone typically does not run particularly well, so I don't know what res this is, but it's running good enough for me. Pyromaniac, okay. No trade is kind of interesting. Death is not particularly useful. So I'm just going to trade this in to here. That means if we get a Spirit Lash, it dies, and it means that Pyromaniac can't get value by killing the Gargoyle for free. And essentially we're just going on until the Psychic Stream turn and hoping to live. We're setting this up somewhat. It only brings back a Gargoyle at the moment, though. Lyra could be good once we get to some of the later turns. So, I don't feel too bad about what we're doing, but these Dire Moles kind of scare me because it means it's most likely a very aggressive variant of this deck. Mass Hysteria. So this could be Counterspell. So I could coin Mass Hysteria to play around that. I think that has to be the play. Let's see if it's Counterspell. Not Counterspell. So it's Explosive Runes. This Mass Hysteria is not super good, but I'm going to do it anyway, because we kind of dedicated to this. That's really good, actually, because that's going to trade there. Okay. So that worked out better. I didn't think that whatever it's called, Pyromaniac was going to die, which made that play, obviously, worse, but it ended up killing that. Okay, yeah, this is the very aggro version. I saw this on Reddit. It's running like Double Nightblade, Cinderstorm, Arcane Missiles, stuff like that. We don't really have an answer, so I'm just gonna heal pass and then set up for a Psychic Stream. I wonder how this deck's doing. Nightblade's always been like a pet card of mine. Okay, so that's the Counterspell, which means we're in a bad position. Because we can't Scream this turn. So I'm just going to play Velen, I guess. No, that can't be right. We just waste a Mind Blast, heal, and then I guess we hope we're alive. And if we're alive, then we can Scream next turn. But we're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so we're at 4 health. Most likely just dead. Okay, so Scream. And if he has any damage, we lose. If he doesn't have damage this turn, then we can go Velen heal and try to, like, come back. But it's very unlikely he has no damage. Pyro doesn't do it. Oh my does Xerix somehow win us the game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minions. But we only have one Mind Blast that we won't even be able to use because we don't have the mana for it. Shit. This only gets us a... what's it called? A fucking... Gilded Gargoyle? This could just be right. It gives us some taunts. It gives us a lot of taunts. And it gives us 1 heal with the Ziliax, so we'd be at 1 health. Which we're currently at with the Velen play anyway. So I think that this has to be the play. We could go 5, 6, 7, and then try to do some stuff with spells, but no. I'll take the free healing and all the taunt. And maybe we're alive at 1. It's very unlikely, but if we are alive at 1, then we're in a good position to bring this game back. He didn't play an elemental, so like there's no Blaze Caller shenanigans that can kill us. We're dead to a Nightblade, because he's played one of those, and he has one in the deck. There's not a lot of odd burn spells is the thing. Like we could potentially die to missiles, but that's not super likely either. Okay, so he's killing the Malygos, that makes sense. Draws a card. Let's see if he has any damage. He now needs 3 because he pinged. So, I think in most situations we lived here, which is kind of crazy. Oh god. Okay. So that's us potentially dead. 1 in 6. Nice. So, can we set up lethal? The short answer is no, and the long answer is also no. So I can proc the explosive runes with Velen and not die. I can then Shadow Word Death, yeah. So, we go Velen, proc the runes, we death this, we want to, this deals 10, so we want to coin, heal ourselves, then trade. Do I want the taunt, or do I want this? No, we want the taunt. Okay. Oh, this is a spicy game. He could have Zola, and then play it again. Oh god, Luna. Luna Mole.
Behold the tools of creation.
He keeps drawing 1 mana cards, no.
The tools of creation.
That's not good. We can always Scream. Scream would not be bad here. Fire. So he's just going for a ton of draw this turn, it looks like. And then I have to imagine he kills the Velen with Hero Power. Yeah. Okay. Holy smite. So this is looking like the freest Scream of our life. And we just hope he never draws the Jan'alai ever again. Scream. Heal. And then just don't top tech Jan'alai, because Jan'alai is lethal. Not Jan'alai. Not Jan'alai. He's been holding this the entire game. Okay, so that's a explosive runes, I think. But we can test with Holy Smite for counterspell. So, test. Okay, so it's explosive runes. Summon minions. Oh, we got Velen. Hell yeah. Restore 4. Alright, cool. So that's runes. That means, unfortunately, we can't play our Lyra, because it'll die. Lyra's a pretty good resource if we can ever get it down, though. Getting this Velen was pretty big, because it let us heal for 4 instead of 2. And the taunt is also really important. So actually, this was like almost perfect for what we wanted to resurrect. Leroy. Oh my god. Okay. So that's why it runs fungal, or not fungal, dire mole, because it sets up for these later on. But this is fine. This deals 2, so I'm just gonna hit face and then heal up for 1,000,000. Oh, or that. I guess he thought we had lethal because we were hitting face. Alright. That's a really interesting list. I haven't seen that exact one, I don't think. Or maybe I just don't remember it. I know that I saw a list on Reddit that was running Nightblade in a aggro-centric version of Odd Mage, but I didn't think it ran stuff like Fungal, Dire Mole. So I'm gonna say I was probably just misremembering, but that's a really interesting way to look at that deck. He definitely got somewhat lucky, or unlucky, because we were at like 1 health for 2 or 3 turns, or like around there. And I think his deck is the version that runs Malygos, Arcane Missile, Cinderstorm, so Arcane Missiles and Cinderstorm on our cloning gallery turn could have been lethal. Against Druid, I'm feeling just keeping these. Let's consult HS Replay about keeping Shadow Visions. It's kept 70% of the time. So maybe it's just good enough to keep. I will keep it. I'm unsure of that, but I will keep it. Okay, cool. Servitude's not super important, but yes. That was all us. That was a deserved win, I would say. I think, you know, we did a lot more than anyone else in that situation could. I don't think anyone could have taken that exact match and gotten a win out of it except for us. So definitely, you know, that's why you tune into my stream right there. That's why you want my coaching. Make sure to join the Discord, ask for coaching, all that shit. Okay, so this whole hand's garbage. I'll keep a Witchwood actually, just because it's semi, like quote unquote early game. Because this deck's early game is essentially like turn 5. Okay. So it's not Odd Rogue, which is probably a good thing for us. We don't have an answer to any minions, so hopefully he plays nothing. That's not nothing. I'm okay with just throwing this out, I think. Yeah. He needs like a backstab or coin SI7 to kill it. So if this lives, then we have something on board to start trading with his little dinky dudes. Cold Blood? Wow. Okay. He didn't trade. That's interesting. So I'm gonna trade here. And heal my guy. Because if he doesn't trade, then we have double Spear Lash to clean that up, and then we can, you know, re-heal our guy up to a 2-3 again. Or we can just go Spear Lash trade. It's a little wasteful of resources, but we have Mass Hysteria now too, so I don't mind it. It heals us for quite a bit as well. Now the question is, do I want to trade, or do I want to... I don't think I want to trade here. Thought process being he daggers and hits, it goes up to only 2 health, and then we can trade later, or, you know, it sticks around for Mass Hysteria, both of which are decent outcomes. Okay, he just traded. Ooh, Spirit of the Shark is a little scary. Cloning Gallery is really good, though. We're just going to throw out a Grizzly, and we can always Mass Hysteria whatever big board he makes. Spirit of the Shark. Oh, okay. Cold Blood, so we get to Mass Hysteria these. That's pretty funny. Wow. That's like really not what I expected to happen, but I'm pretty happy with. And then we have Double Eternal to bring back Witchwood Grizzlies. So that worked out very well. Nice. So you have 2 2/3s versus my 3/12 that's coming out. Not quite what I would be looking for as you. What? I can't do that. I can heal or I can Shadow Visions. I would be Shadow Visioning is for burn, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'll just do it anyway. We didn't get burn. I think out of this hand we want a Psychic Stream just in case he gets the board back. Not too shabby though. Ooh, that's really strong. Okay, so it's a little annoying, but not the biggest deal. Getting the Malagos feels pretty bad. So we can heal this guy, trade, and then just play another one. Seems pretty good to me. Because now his weapon hit has to go in there, or he has to waste resources into it. And this hand's really, really strong. Okay. So this is all fine, because essentially whenever he goes too wide on the board, we can scream. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minions. Never mind, we have 7 minions left in the Xerix pool. I'm just going to play a Lich King and take this trade. Death Grip is probably not super relevant, but who knows, maybe we grab like a Leroy or something big. I don't even really know what his game plan quite is. I played a Kaliseth tempo rogue earlier, but it felt really weak. It's definitely not as strong as old Kaliseth rogue was. Back when Kaliseth rogue was like the deck to play on ladder. Second Vile Swine. Okay. Oh, that's pretty big. So, I'm looking at just Psychic Stream probably. Psychic Stream heal. Yeah. And we're gonna play the top decked one so that he doesn't know what we got from our Shadow Visions. I could Death Grip. He's out of Cold Bloods. And he only has 1 Shadow... I'll play around. I'll respect, like, Leroy, Shadow Step Leroy, and then, like, SI7. Because if he's running Shadow Step, he's almost certainly running Leroy. Is that an Elven? Yeah. Ooh, Edwin. Okay, so I'm looking again at just Psychicking. This Mind Blast only does 10 damage. Ooh, Ooh, Anduin's really good. I like Anduin over Psychic. It means we don't get the recursive healing every turn, but dealing with the board is pretty good. We're essentially only open to like Leroy, other charge minions, everything else we can deal with. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Oh my god, so many Elvins. So this gives us one Radiant. Ooh, we have our own Zilliax. Okay. I'm fine with this. This board is not particularly threatening, so... Get a little healing, clean up a bit, save most of our resources. At any point that we have like a more free turn, we can Xerix. Okay. So this is definitely a Psychic stream. Yeah, especially because he dedicated even more resources for no reason. What a dummy. Spellstone is pretty cool too. So, Scream. Do I want... Yeah, I want the damage. Just because we might be able to set up some sort of lethal with Mind Blasts and Xerix and stuff. I was considering doing the Death Grip, but... Okay. So I can go ping, ping. I can always resurrect as well. He kept this for combo. Oh, Witchwood's really good. So, ping, Witchwood, ping is the play. He does have one Vile Spine still, because we shuffled it into his deck with Psychic Stream, so that might be a reason why he kept this. He also has, I mean, that's his only way to break through our taunt. Yeah, so he did nothing that turn. That's really good for us. We get one Radiant, so I think this is lethal, because we get Velen. Oh. I don't know why I thought this was lethal, but it's still a good play. We set him to 3 and get this little board. I don't know, for some reason I thought that the Holy Smite did enough there, but I just did my math way too quick. I kind of just wanted to get this game over. There we go. There was essentially nothing he could do from the point where we Cloning Gallery, so nice. Alright. Hey, we're at 11-11. That's pretty cool. This deck's crazy. Without any prior experience, I'm 7-2. Hunter. So, the entire reason why we're playing this deck is because it's supposed to beat up on Hunter. So we will see how well that goes. I think I just won Shadow Visions. Psychic is good. Mass Hysteria is great. So this is the reason why you're playing this deck on ladder. Against control decks, you can win, you know, just through pure burst and Lyra generation and stuff like that. And against Hunter, which is the majority of the metagame right now, you have Mass Hysteria for the Spellstone, because Mass Hysteria will always clear a Spellstone instantly, since there are all 3/3s. And then you also have, you know, Screams and stuff for Death Rattle Hunter. You have a lot of AoE in this deck. And Hunter has no way to heal, so we have lots of burst, and we also have lots of AoE, so it's exactly what we're looking for, is a Cloning Gallery. But so this deck's really well-rounded versus Hunter. 2-4. Spellstone doesn't do much. Pass. So it's looking like Spell, which means that the Spellstone will be coming down eventually for our Mass Hysteria. The art on this is hella cool, by the way. That's one of my favorite scenes. I think this is directly, like, it's based directly on one of the scenes from the trailer. And, that's, like, my favorite part of the trailer was the Gurubashi Brawl sequence, so. Little soft spot. Spellstone? Nice. Oh, it's only 2. That's pretty weak. It's pretty weak, bro. We will Mass Hysteria this. Good. Cleared everything. Yeah, so I think the way Mass Hysteria works is just kind of random from, you know, who attacks who. Because... Rexstar's a little annoying. Another Scream. We're at 10 cards, so we have to use something. So I guess I will just be coining this turn. Pew. That feels a little bad. Stealth Poisonous, okay. That doesn't particularly matter. Getting the Velen feels really bad. So we'll just play it down. It'll bait out the Poisonous hit. It'll go into the res pool, which is good at least. Because that means our res pool is only Velen. Which is kind of fun. We could find ways to sneak lethals with that, probably. Oh, he's saving his little beast dude? Oh, what the hell? Okay. This was not what I expected to see at all. We can Lich King, but then we mill a card. I don't really want to mill a card. I also don't really want to shuffle shuffle minions though. I guess we can just play this, and then our Spellstone will resurrect 2 really good minions, and that can be a potential win condition. Hopefully we don't lose, like, Malagos or Ziliax. So, bop, and then next turn we just Scream. And then hopefully we mill something unimportant. Like a Gilded Gargoyle. Gilded Gargoyle would be good to get rid of. We got rid of Anduin. Unlucky. So we just have to Scream this to get it away. And then we can heal. So our res pool is only Velen and Lich King, which is pretty crazy for these Spellstones. And then we also have a Death. So hopefully he plays a big minion that we can Death, and then we can Spellstone along with it. That's kind of funny, it's only 1 minion. Unfortunately he got the best one, but you can't really play around that too much. Yeah, so we're just gonna get minions. Lich King. And then we're gonna hit this. Well, we don't even have to hit that, actually. Do I want double Lich King, or do I want a Velen as well? A Velen gives us more healing, and also makes us not overdraw, so I like that. And then I wanted to play the Smite, but we wanted to play around the possibility of Rat Trap. Because dealing with a 6/6 is something that we don't want to do right now. Oh my fuck, really? Okay, well that's fine, we can go Diamond Spellstone, Holy Smite. And also heal. So yeah, it's annoying, but it's fine. Hi, we're back. It only took us 2 cards this time or it only took us 1 card to come back instead of 2. Alright, so Crushing Walls is almost guaranteed just a 1 of in his deck. It means we have to worry about it with Zul'jin, but we're in a pretty good spot here, I think. We're mostly just looking for extra burn spells, so that when we go off with Xerix, we can kill. Flare's fine. We only have a Mind Blast. Hunter's Mark, okay. So our burst is lacking right now, but I think we're in an okay position. Zombeast. Cool. Radiant. Does Radiant help us at all? No. I kind of want to test Freezing Trap with this, so I'm going to. Yep, freezing. And then maybe Venom Strike? Nope. So it's probably Wandering, so we'll trigger that. Oh, it was Explosive, okay. This deals 6, so that kills it. Do I want to save the AoE, though? I could take 5 and then heal 4. That's probably better. Yeah, take 5, heal 4. And also upgrades our Spellstone. Okay. I feel pretty alright about that. We're mostly just looking for burn damage, burn spells to use with our Xerix, because we still have Malygos in there. Oh wow, he's gonna get a Velen. Interesting. So, if I do this, it gets me a Radiant, 2 Gilded, Elira, 2 Witchleys, and a Malygos. That's not particularly good. Yeah, I don't like that. So I can go with this guy, and get a Lich King, a Velen. I think that's all that's died still is Lich King Velen. I think I'm okay with getting those. And then I wanna save that potentially. Yeah, so we're just gonna go like this. Lich King Velen. And then I'd rather have the Velen, so I'm gonna play this on this side to play around a second Crushing Walls. And then I don't want to play another card in case it's Rat Trap. Ooh, Magic Shell's really good if this board sticks. What we can do is if this board sticks, if this Radiant sticks, we can go 8 mana this, it'll pull another Radiant, and then 2 mana this guy. Lifesteal Rush, Kill Command. Dang. So he cleared basically everything. Getting the Velen's good. This could be freezing. Killing this is unfortunate. So this deals 6, this deals 10. Our Xerix gets us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minions. This makes that 20 damage, and then we can't play this yet. I think this is still the right play though, just to cash in the damage. There we go. And then to play around Explosive, I should have hit first, but that also doesn't play around freezing. I'm just gonna pass and see what he does here, because the Death and Decay should win us the game next turn. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, he misplayed. Oh, he misplayed so bad. Oh, it's only spells and hero power, never mind. I thought that these double Velens would trigger on the Zombeast, but it wouldn't. It's only spells and hero powers. So we went with Death and Decay. What a game. That was pretty crazy. As much as like weird stuff happened that game, that was pretty one-sided. We were never in that big of a threat. So yeah, we went 8-2 with Cloning Gallery Priest. This seems like a very strong deck at the moment. I would definitely suggest, if you have the cards and you really want to beat up on Hunters, we're 2-0 versus Hunter. Both games were like pretty like close-ish, but like we felt pretty in the driver's seat, even against odd Hunter, which we went against. Like we were low, but we always felt like we were doing pretty good. And every other matchup felt really strong. I don't remember quite what we lost to be totally honest. I think I can check the HS replay actually. Let's see what we lost to. We lost to a Rogue, which... Oh, the Rogue with the Leroy stuff. We just kind of died to minions because our hand sucked. And we lost to a Druid, which was the Hakar Druid, which was like one of the first games we played. Both of those losses I would definitely chalk up just to variance. Like, The Hakar Druid, I'm not sure if we misplayed or not. We probably, there were definitely different lines to take. That game was very long and had a lot of decision points, but the rogue game I don't feel bad about losing. We just kind of died to his minion pressure because we didn't have any clears, and that happens occasionally, but that's fine. And the Hakar Druid game was back and forth, pretty close, very interesting, very weird situations that don't typically come up. So I don't feel bad punting that. So I think Cloning Priest is very, very strong right now. I plan on doing a video about it now. I actually had no plans to, even explore this deck, but there's a lot of little intricate things. It got a lot stronger with the introduction of Mass Hysteria, simply because now you have a clear that isn't just Psychic Stream. Because in the old versions, you essentially, like, your early game was play Gilded Gargoyles. And if you didn't have Gilded Gargoyles to get the coins, then in minion-centric matchups, you couldn't go like coin or coin Psychic Stream and try to come back that way. But Mass Hysteria solves that problem a lot. So I think that this deck is very strong, and I'm going to have to end the stream for now. But thanks to everyone who tuned in. Everyone on YouTube, remember, you can always tune in to the Twitch channel. We try to stream at least every day. It hasn't been super consistent just because we're in finals week at the moment, but in the next month or two, we're really going to start hammering it down after the move. So make sure to go to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/norkcoaching, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the videos on the YouTube channel, stuff like that. And I will see you guys next time. So thanks for checking it out, and peace.